My heart was pounding, my mouth went dry, and the words I knew so well in my mind simply vanished into thin air. I was frozen. Have you ever felt that crushing moment when you understand every single word being said to you in English, but when you open your mouth to reply, nothing comes out? If this has ever happened to you, then you are precisely where you need to be, right here, right now. Welcome, my dear friends, to a journey that will fundamentally change how you speak English. I am your guide, and together, we will unlock the voice that has been waiting inside you. This is not just another English lesson, this is the key to moving from being a silent observer to a confident speaker. In our time together, I will share with you not just one, but 6 powerful and practical techniques designed to get you speaking more often and with greater clarity than you ever thought possible. And as always, in this safe space for learners, I will speak at a pace that is clear and manageable, allowing you to shadow my every word, to mimic my rhythm and intonation, turning your listening practice into a powerful speaking workout. So, take a deep breath and get ready to find your voice. Let us begin this transformation. It is a story I have heard thousands of times, a confession from learners all over the world. They tell me, I can watch Hollywood films without subtitles, I can follow complex news reports, and I devour English books, yet when I need to form a simple sentence, my mind becomes a blank slate. This, my friend, is perhaps the most common and frustrating experience for anyone learning this language. But today, I want you to understand something crucial. This is not a personal failure. This is not a sign that you are not good enough. This is a simple, explainable phenomenon, and once you grasp its root, a huge weight will lift from your shoulders. The fundamental truth we must accept is that comprehending English and actively speaking English are 2 entirely separate skills, engaging different parts of your brain. Think of it like this: understanding is a passive act. You are a receiver, like a radio quietly picking up a signal. You sit, you listen, you absorb. Your brilliant brain is working to decode meaning, but it does not have to create anything new. It is a comfortable, one-way street. Speaking, however, is an act of creation. It is active, demanding, and requires a complex symphony of mental processes to happen simultaneously and at speed. When you speak, you are no longer a radio receiver, you are the orchestra conductor, the composer, and the musician all at once. You must search your memory for the correct vocabulary, you must structure those words into a coherent sentence using grammatical rules, you must organize your abstract ideas into a logical sequence, and you must physically coordinate your mouth, tongue, and breath to produce the correct sounds. And you are expected to do all of this in real time, often while feeling the pressure of someone waiting for your response. It is a monumental task, and it is no wonder that even highly advanced learners sometimes stumble. The core issue, then, is not a lack of knowledge. You already possess a vast understanding of English. The real challenge is that most traditional learning methods do not train this specific, active skill of spontaneous speech. You diligently study grammar rules, you complete vocabulary exercises, you enjoy films and podcasts, and you may even write beautifully in a journal. These are all wonderful and beneficial activities, but they are primarily training your passive, receptive abilities. They are like reading every book ever written about swimming. You will become an expert on the theory of buoyancy and stroke technique, but you will still sink the moment you are thrown into the deep end of the pool. Speaking is a physical and mental skill, much like cooking a new recipe, learning to dance, or mastering a sport. You cannot learn to swim by only watching others in the water, you must get wet yourself. You cannot learn to cook a perfect omelette by only reading cookbooks, you must crack the eggs into the pan. In the same exact way, you cannot learn to speak English fluently without the act of speaking itself. It is the doing, the practice, the repetition that carves new neural pathways in your brain, transforming knowledge from something you possess into something you can use effortlessly. This is the paradigm shift we must make together. We must move from accumulating knowledge to practicing performance. The good news is that this practice does not require a classroom full of people or a trip to an English-speaking country. It begins with you, your mind, and your voice. It is about building a habit of expression, of turning your internal monologue into an external dialogue. The 6 strategies I will share with you are designed to be integrated into your daily life, to transform mundane moments into opportunities for practice, and to build the kind of confidence that comes not from perfection, but from proven progress. This journey is about giving yourself permission to use the English you already know, to make mistakes, and to learn that communication, not flawlessness, is the ultimate goal. Let us now dive into the first and perhaps most liberating tip: do not wait for perfect grammar. I cannot emphasize this enough. So many talented learners I have met put their speaking journey on hold, trapped by the belief that they must first achieve grammatical mastery. They tell themselves, "I will start speaking when I know all the verb tenses," or "I cannot say anything until I am sure it is 100% correct." This pursuit of perfection becomes the very barrier that prevents progress. Here is the profound truth you must embrace: you do not need perfect grammar to communicate effectively. What you need is clarity. The ultimate question is not, is my sentence grammatically flawless, but rather, can the person I am speaking to understand my meaning? If the answer is yes, then your English is successfully doing its job. Consider the following sentence: yesterday I go to the park. Is this grammatically perfect? No, the past tense should be went. But is the meaning perfectly clear? Absolutely. You have successfully communicated a past action and a location. The message has been transmitted and received. This is how language works in the real world, outside of textbooks and examinations. Think about how children acquire their first language. They do not study grammar rules, they simply speak. They say things like, "Me want juice," or "I go to school." The adults around them understand the intent perfectly and, over time, through listening and practice, the children naturally refine their grammar. You have the same capacity. Making mistakes is not a sign of failure, it is evidence of learning. It is the visible proof that you are courageously using the language in real time, which is the only way to truly improve. Even native speakers frequently make grammatical slips in casual conversation. The goal is not to avoid mistakes but to communicate your ideas with confidence. Start speaking today with the grammar you currently have. Use simple vocabulary. Construct short sentences. Focus on conveying your message. The refinement of your grammar will come naturally with time and practice, but you will already be a speaker, and that is the most significant step you can take. This leads us to our second transformative strategy, a concept that will change how you absorb the English language: learn chunks, not just individual words. For too long, you may have approached English vocabulary like a collection of single bricks, painstakingly gathering each one with the intention of building sentences from scratch every single time. This method is not only slow, but it is also unnatural. Native speakers do not construct every sentence word by word in their minds, they draw from a vast mental library of pre-assembled phrases and word combinations that they have heard and used countless times. These are what we call chunks. A chunk is a group of words that naturally belong together, forming a single unit of meaning that is commonly used in everyday conversation. Instead of just learning the adjective busy, you learn the practical chunks. I'm a bit busy right now, or sorry, I've got a lot on my plate, or even I'm swamped today. Do you see the power in this? When you learn these ready-made phrases, something remarkable occurs. You bypass the laborious mental process of grammar construction. You no longer have to stop and think, okay, subject first, then the verb, now the adjective, and don't forget the adverb. The entire phrase is already stored in your memory, intact and ready for immediate use. It is like having a set of building blocks instead of a pile of loose sand. Your constructions are faster, stronger, and far more stable. Using these chunks makes your English sound fluid, natural, and confident because you are using the same building blocks that native speakers use. Consider phrases like, "Can I get back to you on that?" or "It depends on the situation," or "That's a great question." These are not random words, they are reliable, standardized tools for communication. How do you begin to collect these chunks? It requires a shift in your listening. When you are engaged with a podcast, watching a series, or listening to a song, actively listen for these recurring word patterns. Do not just focus on the definition of a new word, pay attention to the company it keeps. Write down the entire phrase in your notebook. Then, the most crucial step, practice saying these chunks out loud. Repeat them until they feel comfortable in your mouth. Imagine scenarios where you could use them. By doing this, you are not just learning English, you are stockpiling the very essence of fluent speech. This brings us to our third powerful technique, one that is incredibly effective precisely because it is always available to you: speak to yourself. I can already sense the hesitation some of you may feel. The idea of talking to yourself might seem unusual, perhaps even a little strange at first. But I urge you to set aside that hesitation and consider the immense potential of this practice. If your goal is to speak English fluently, you must engage in the act of speaking daily. The most common obstacle I hear is, "But I have no one to practice with. I don't live in an English-speaking environment, and I don't have friends who speak English." I understand this challenge completely, but here is the beautiful secret: you already have the perfect practice partner. It is you. You are always available, you are infinitely patient, and you create a judgment-free zone where mistakes are not failures but stepping stones. Speaking to yourself is one of the most underutilized yet profoundly effective methods for building fluency. Why? Because it removes every external barrier. You can do this anytime, anywhere. You can practice while you are preparing your morning coffee, commenting on the weather. "The sky looks very cloudy today, I think it might rain." You can do it during your commute, describing the scenes you pass. "The traffic is moving slowly, but that building is very modern." You can do it while cooking dinner. "Now I am chopping the vegetables. I need to add some salt." You can talk about your plans for the day. "I have an important meeting at 10 o'clock, and afterwards I hope to finish that report." You can even ask yourself questions to stimulate deeper thinking. "What was the most interesting thing I learned today?" or "Why is this project so important to me?" The content does not need to be complex, it simply needs to be spoken aloud. This process trains your brain to access English vocabulary and form sentences quickly, moving from conscious translation to automatic thought. It is the ultimate gym for your mouth and your mind. To elevate this practice, you can even simulate entire conversations entirely on your own. You can role-play a situation where you order food at a restaurant, playing both the customer and the server. "Hello, what can I get for you today?" "I would like a cup of coffee and a sandwich, please." "Certainly, would you like anything else?" "No, That will be all, thank you. This might feel theatrical at first, but it is an incredibly powerful way to prepare for real-life interactions. The primary benefit of this solitary practice is the elimination of pressure. There is no one listening, no one to judge your accent, your word choice, or your pauses. This freedom allows you to experiment, to stumble over a word and try it again 3 times until it sounds right, to speak slowly when you need to, and to build the muscle memory required for fluency. When you make speaking to yourself a daily ritual, you will begin to notice a profound shift. Your brain will start to switch to English more effortlessly. The need to mentally translate from your native language will diminish. You will find that when you do speak with another person, the words come more readily because you have already been using them constantly. You have built a foundation of confidence through consistent, pressure-free practice. Now, let us explore the 4th strategy, which harnesses the power of modern technology: utilize artificial intelligence. We live in an extraordinary time where you can carry a patient, knowledgeable, and endlessly available speaking partner in your pocket. Artificial intelligence, or AI, has evolved into a remarkable tool for language learners, offering a safe and responsive environment to practice your speaking skills daily. Think of AI not as a cold, impersonal machine, but as a dedicated tutor that never grows tired, never becomes impatient, and is always ready to engage in conversation at any hour of the day or night. It will not judge your mistakes, it will only help you learn from them. You may wonder which specific AI tools can serve this purpose. Several are exceptionally well suited for this task. My personal favorite is ChatGPT, which allows you to type or even speak your messages, and it will respond in a conversational manner. You can explicitly ask it to correct your grammar or to practice a specific type of dialogue. Another wonderful option is Pi, a personal AI assistant designed with a kind and supportive voice, making your interactions feel more like a natural conversation. Similarly, Microsoft's Copilot and other similar applications offer features that enable real-time voice conversations, allowing you to speak and listen just as you would with a human partner. The method for using these tools is straightforward. You simply initiate a chat with a simple prompt. You can type or say something like, "Hello, I am learning English. Could we have a short conversation about my day, or let's practice ordering food in a cafe?" The AI will immediately comprehend your request and play along. You can then respond to its questions and statements, building a coherent dialogue. This is a completely safe space for practice. There is no social anxiety, no fear of embarrassing yourself, only pure, focused practice. You can ask the AI to slow down, to explain a phrase, or to give you synonyms for words you are trying to use. The profound value of this practice is that you are not merely studying the language in a theoretical way, you are actively using it for its fundamental purpose, communication. You are training your brain to think in English during a dynamic, interactive exchange. This process builds neural pathways associated with spontaneous speech and comprehension, moving you closer to true fluency. Each conversation with an AI, no matter how brief, is a step toward making English a more instinctive part of your thought process. It is a way to simulate the experience of living in an English-speaking environment without ever leaving your home. The constant, low-pressure repetition, the immediate feedback, and the ability to practice exactly the kind of dialogues you find most challenging make AI an indispensable companion on your journey to fluency. It bridges the gap between the solitary practice of speaking to yourself and the high-pressure situation of speaking with another person, providing a crucial intermediate step that builds both skill and confidence. Let us now turn to the 5th technique, a structured exercise that systematically builds your fluency and coherence, the 432 method. This is a powerful, focused practice that compels your brain to become more efficient and articulate with each repetition. The concept is beautifully simple in design yet profound in its impact. Here is how it works. First, you select a short, simple topic. This could be a summary of a news article you read, a recap of your day, a description of a favorite memory, or the plot of a movie you recently watched. The key is to choose something with a clear sequence of events or ideas. Now, you will speak about this topic not once, but 3 times in succession, each time with a decreasing time limit. This is where the magic happens. Begin with the first round, where you speak for a full 4 minutes. During this initial telling, your goal is to be detailed and descriptive. Speak at a comfortable, measured pace. Do not worry about minor hesitations or mistakes. Your sole objective is to tell the entire story, including as many relevant details as you can recall. Describe the setting, the people involved, the actions that took place, and the outcome. This first round lays the foundation, ensuring all the necessary vocabulary and concepts are activated in your mind. After you finish, take a very short break, perhaps just 30 seconds to a minute, to mentally reset. Then, you begin the second round. Now, your challenge is to convey the same story, with the same key points, but you must do it in only 3 minutes. This immediately forces you to become more efficient. You will naturally start to speak a little faster, to combine ideas, and to eliminate less crucial details. Your brain begins to prioritize information and structure it more effectively. Finally, you approach the third and final round. This time, you must deliver the entire narrative in just 2 minutes. This is where true fluency is forged. Knowing the story intimately by now, you are compelled to speak smoothly and continuously. Long, awkward pauses become impossible. You link your ideas seamlessly, using connective words and more complex sentence structures to convey the same information in a more condensed and fluid manner. Your speech becomes a coherent, flowing monologue. The beauty of the 432 method lies in its forced efficiency. With each repetition, your brain is required to reorganize the same information more effectively. The vocabulary and phrases you struggled to recall in the first round become readily accessible by the third. You are not just learning to speak, you are learning to speak better, faster, and with greater confidence about the same topic. This process mimics real-life conversations where you often need to explain a concept quickly and clearly. I highly recommend recording yourself during this exercise. When you listen back, you will hear a dramatic transformation from your slightly hesitant 4-minute version to your confident and concise 2-minute version. This tangible proof of your own progress is an incredibly powerful motivator. Finally, you approach the third and final round. This time, you must deliver the entire narrative in just 2 minutes. This is where true fluency is forged. Knowing the story intimately by now, you are compelled to speak smoothly and continuously. Long, awkward pauses become impossible. You link your ideas seamlessly, using connective words and more complex sentence structures to convey the same information in a more condensed and fluid manner. Your speech becomes a coherent, flowing monologue. The beauty of the 432 method lies in its forced efficiency. With each repetition, your brain is required to reorganize the same information more effectively. The vocabulary and phrases you struggled to recall in the first round become readily accessible by the third. You are not just learning to speak, you are learning to speak better, faster, and with greater confidence about the same topic. This process mimics real-life conversations where you often need to explain a concept quickly and clearly. I highly recommend recording yourself during this exercise. When you listen back, you will hear a dramatic transformation from your slightly hesitant 4-minute version to your confident and concise 2-minute version. This tangible proof of your own progress is an incredibly powerful motivator. Now, let's explore the power of grammatical transformation. Take that same core idea and shift its tense or structure. You could express a current action with, I am going to the store right now. Or use a present perfect construction to describe a recent past event with present relevance. I have just been to the store, so we have milk. You can even venture into more complex conditional forms. If I had gone to the store earlier, I wouldn't be so hungry now. Furthermore, you can change the subject of the sentence entirely to practice different perspectives. For instance, my sister went to the store for us. Or, nobody went to the store, so we decided to order food online instead. Each of these variations, while stemming from one simple idea, forces your brain to practice different grammatical rules, vocabulary combinations, and sentence patterns. This is not about rote memorization, it is about active creation. You are training your mind to see the multiple possibilities within a single thought, which is exactly what fluent speakers do unconsciously. This exercise builds the mental agility required to adapt your speech in real-time conversations, allowing you to express precisely what you mean with confidence and variety. This is the essence of moving from robotic repetition to dynamic self-expression. Let us now pause and consolidate the powerful landscape we have been exploring together. In this episode, we have delved into the core reason why so many individuals who understand English beautifully still struggle to speak it. We have established that this is not a reflection of your intelligence or dedication, but rather a natural consequence of training only the receptive, passive skills of listening and reading while neglecting the active, creative skill of speech. Understanding is like being a spectator at a magnificent concert, appreciating the music from your seat. Speaking is the act of stepping onto the stage, picking up the instrument, and joining the orchestra yourself. They are fundamentally different experiences, requiring different forms of practice. The 6 techniques we have discussed are your personalized training regimen, designed to build your speaking muscles systematically and effectively. We began by shattering the illusion that you need perfect grammar to start speaking, empowering you to prioritize communication over perfection. We then revolutionized your approach to vocabulary by introducing the concept of learning chunks of language, which allows you to sound more natural and fluent by using pre-assembled phrases. We uncovered the immense potential that lies in speaking to yourself, a practice that transforms your daily life into a continuous, pressure-free language lab. We embraced modern technology by integrating artificial intelligence as a tireless conversation partner, providing a safe bridge between solo practice and human interaction. We introduced the structured 432 method to forcefully enhance your fluency and coherence on any given topic through progressive repetition. And finally, we explored the creative exercise of manipulating a single sentence to develop grammatical agility and expressive flexibility. Each of these strategies is a key, designed to unlock a different facet of your speaking ability. The journey to fluent speaking is a marathon, not a sprint. It is built not through a single, monumental effort, but through the consistent, daily application of these principles. The most important step you can take right now is to begin. Do not feel overwhelmed by the need to implement all 6 strategies at once tomorrow. That is a path to burnout. Instead, I want you to choose just one. Choose the one that resonates most deeply with you, the one that feels the most accessible or exciting. Perhaps it is the freedom of speaking to yourself without judgment. Maybe it is the curiosity of starting a conversation with an AI. Or it could be the structured challenge of the 432 method. Whatever you choose, commit to practicing that single technique for the next week. Make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine, even if only for 5 or 10 minutes. The cumulative effect of these small, consistent practices is exponentially greater than occasional, lengthy study sessions. Your goal is to weave English speaking into the fabric of your daily life, to make it as natural as brushing your teeth or having your morning coffee. For instance, if you choose to speak to yourself, you could decide that your morning shower will be in English, where you describe your plans for the day. If you choose to learn chunks, you could commit to learning, writing down, and using just one new phrase each day. The key is consistency. This consistent practice does something far more important than just improve your language skills. It builds your identity as a speaker of English. Each time you use your voice, you are sending a powerful message to your own subconscious mind: I am someone who speaks English. This shift in self-perception is the bedrock of genuine confidence. Let us delve deeper into the philosophy of this journey. You must understand that every time you open your mouth to speak English, regardless of the outcome, you are succeeding. The very act is a victory. A sentence filled with small errors that communicates your idea is a far greater achievement than a perfectly grammatical sentence that remains unspoken in your mind. Embrace the concept of fluent with mistakes. This state is infinitely more powerful and productive than being silent with perfection. Your path to improvement is paved with the mistakes you make and learn from today. They are not stains on your record. They are the most valuable data points in your learning process. Each error is a signpost, clearly indicating an area where your brain is actively testing the boundaries of the language and learning the correct form through practice. This is how neural pathways are built and strengthened. This is the same process a musician uses when they practice scales, making errors and correcting them until the movement becomes automatic. This is how an athlete trains, repeating a movement until the muscle memory is ingrained. Your speaking practice is the same. You are training the muscles of your mouth and the pathways of your brain to perform a new and complex skill. Do not fall into the trap of comparing your beginning to someone else's middle or end. Your journey is uniquely your own. The only person you should strive to be better than is the person you were yesterday. If you spoke one more sentence today than you did yesterday, that is progress. If you used a new chunk you learned, that is progress. If you completed the 432 method and heard more fluency in your 2-minute version, that is monumental progress. Celebrate these small wins. They are the fuel that will keep you moving forward on the days when motivation is low. Remember why you started this journey. Connect your daily practice to your bigger dreams. Perhaps you want to connect with colleagues from around the world, to access a wealth of knowledge, to travel with confidence, or to understand the lyrics of your favorite songs. Keep that vision bright and clear in your mind. Let it be the light that guides you through the occasional frustration. To ensure these strategies become a living, breathing part of your learning, let's visualize their practical application in a single day. Imagine a morning where you wake up and your first conscious thought in English is a simple chunk: I need a strong coffee this morning. As you move through your kitchen, you describe your actions aloud to yourself: I'm pouring the water into the machine. Now I'm waiting for it to brew. This is you implementing the power of self-talk and chunks simultaneously. Later, during a break, you open your AI app and initiate a 2-minute conversation. Hello, how is your day going? The weather is quite nice here. The AI responds, and you practice a real-time exchange, using the phrases you've been learning. This integrates technology into your daily practice. In the afternoon, you decide to practice the 432 method. You choose a topic, a project you're working on. For 4 minutes, you describe it in detail. Then 3 minutes, making it more concise. Finally, 2 minutes, delivering a smooth, compelling summary. This hones your fluency and coherence. In the evening, you take one simple sentence from your day, I finished the report, and practice varying it. I finally finished the report has been completed, I managed to finish the report ahead of schedule. This builds your grammatical flexibility. This is how these techniques interweave to create a comprehensive speaking workout, seamlessly integrated into the flow of your life. The true transformation occurs when these practices cease to be isolated study sessions and instead become your natural way of interacting with the world around you. This is the point where you stop practicing English and start thinking in English. It is a subtle but profound shift in consciousness. The internal monologue that narrates your life, the voice in your head that plans, wonders, and observes, gradually transitions into English. This is the ultimate goal of all this practice, not just to speak, but to live a part of your internal world through this new language. This does not mean abandoning your native tongue, it means expanding your cognitive universe to include another mode of expression. When this shift begins to happen, speaking ceases to be a laborious translation task and starts to become a direct expression of your thoughts. The pauses become shorter, the sentences flow more freely, and the words feel more like your own. This is fluency taking root in the deepest soil of your mind. It is also crucial to address the emotional component of this journey. Fear and frustration are natural companions on the path to learning any complex skill. There will be days when you feel you have taken a step backward, when the words will not come, and when your motivation dips. On these days, be kind to yourself. Acknowledge the difficulty without letting it define you. Remember the progress you have already made. Look back at a notebook from months ago or recall how much more you can understand now compared to before. This journey is not a straight line ascending ever upward, it is a spiral, where you may revisit certain challenges, but each time you do, you are equipped with more knowledge and experience. The fear of making mistakes will diminish not by avoiding them, but by surviving them. Each time you speak and the world does not end, each time you make an error and someone still understands you, you build a little more courage. Your confidence is not a prerequisite for speaking, it is the product of speaking. Therefore, my dear friend, I want you to carry this fundamental belief with you: your voice matters, and the world needs to hear what you have to say in English. You possess ideas, experiences, and a unique perspective that can enrich conversations and build bridges. Do not let the pursuit of an unattainable perfection silence that contribution. The strategies you have acquired are your tools, but your courage and consistency are the engine. Make a pact with yourself today. Promise yourself that you will use your voice, however tremulous it may feel at first, every single day. Promise yourself that you will celebrate the stumbles as much as the smooth sentences, for both are essential to your growth. See yourself not as a student who is failing, but as a speaker who is in the process of mastering a beautiful and complex skill. You are on a path walked by millions, yet your journey is uniquely yours. There will be breakthroughs that fill you with exhilaration, and there will be plateaus that test your patience. Embrace it all. Remember that language is alive. It is not a static set of rules to be memorized, but a flowing river of communication to be joined. Your goal is to step into that river and let its current carry you forward. Use the language you have, even if it feels limited. Seek out moments for practice, even if they are brief. Surround yourself with the language through music, films, and articles, but always pair that input with the crucial output of your own speech. You are the architect of your fluency. Every word you speak is a brick laid in the foundation of your confidence. Every conversation you initiate, whether with yourself, an AI, or another person, strengthens the structure. You have within you everything required to succeed in this journey. The knowledge is there. The capacity is there. Now, it is time to unlock it through the relentless, joyful, and courageous act of speaking. And so, we arrive at the close of our time together, but this is not an end, it is the beginning of your new chapter as an active, confident English speaker. In this episode of English Dictionary, we have journeyed through the reasons behind the speaking barrier and equipped you with 6 powerful, actionable techniques to overcome it. We have established that understanding and speaking are distinct skills, and that to master the latter, you must engage in the active, daily practice of using your voice. From abandoning the wait for perfect grammar, to learning language in chunks, from having conversations with yourself, to leveraging AI technology, from implementing the structured 432 method, to flexing your creative muscles with sentence variation, you now possess a complete toolkit. My final charge to you is this: do not let this knowledge remain as mere information. Let it transform into action. Let it become part of your daily rhythm. Your journey to fluency is paved by the words you speak today, tomorrow, and every day after. Believe in the process, trust in your ability to learn, and never underestimate the power of your own voice. This is English Dictionary, and I am Harry. Keep speaking, my friend, and keep believing in yourself. The world is waiting to hear you. Bye for now.